All right. Hello. My name is Ricky Williams, and I'm a staff liaison for the Center Stage Board Associates. If you have not attended one of our events before, we are a dynamic young group of young professionals committed to introducing new audiences to opera in Cincinnati. We welcome you and thank you for attending our fourth session of Opera and Yoga at Home. We are doing things a little bit differently this time. We have chosen to live stream to Facebook directly to make videos more easily accessible to a wider audience. We will also be welcoming our wonderful guest, Nikki Owens, to join us today to lead us through our practice. If you enjoy our class today, we invite you to like Center Stage Board Associates Facebook page and to follow us on Instagram. You may also be interested in joining us for Cheers to Opera, which will take place on July 21st at 6 p.m. and will also be streaming live from Facebook. Cheers to Opera is a series of intimate chats with some of Cincinnati's finest singers and professionals. Guests will get a fundamental opera insight directly from those who make the magic happen on stage. On July 21st, we'll be interviewing composer and jazz pianist William Minifield. I would also like to take a moment to thank our partner, Feeling Yoga, who has been tremendously helpful in making this event come together. And we also like to thank our sponsors, ArtsWave, LPK, QC Health, for all the help they do and support for Cincinnati Opera. Tonight, our soprano, Brittany Logan, will be singing a few of our favorite artists. She'll be singing Summertime from Porgy and Bess by Gershwin, Song to the Moon from Rusalka, and Omi Bin Bibinkar from Gigi Skisi. The R's were specially recorded by pianist Elena Kilovadova and for tonight's class. And now I'll hand things over to our instructor, Nikki Owens, who will guide us through this meditative experience. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much, Ricky, and thank you, Cincinnati Opera, for allowing me to be here to celebrate and practice yoga with you. As Ricky said, my name is Nikki, and I am going to invite you to make sure you have any accoutrements, be it blocks or blankets, pillows or cushions. Heck, it might even be a chair or a towel that you use. Certainly, even sturdy books can be used to support you for your practice. Remember, support is important because we want to not only be caregivers in our practice, but receivers, right? And in order for us to be receiving goodness, we need to care for our body. So be sure you have those items. And heck, if you have a wall nearby, utilize that wall as well. So as we begin, we're going to start off with our legs either extended or crossed. We're going to sit down on the floor. And please send in the comment box if you have any questions, if you can't hear, if we need to make any adjustments. But with your eyes again open or closed, just arrive into your practice now. Just taking a moment to see where you are in space, yeah? Maybe you can notice one shoulder feels like it's hanging up towards the ear, and invite that shoulder down. Maybe it's the other shoulder. Or just for the fun of it, find a couple of shoulder rolls, eyes open or closed in one direction. And then gently move those shoulders in the other direction. And as you soften here, relaxing your hands, relaxing those shoulders away from the ears. Maybe your palms extend over your knees. Maybe they rest on your thighs and your lap. Wherever it feels comfortable for you, I invite you now just to visualize yourself rooted in peace. And as you visualize yourself rooted in peace, that sense of peace that roots all the way almost 4,000 feet into the earth, symbolically, and rises through the center of your body. Here it is, this ability for your practice. As you visualize yourself with peace moving through you, perhaps you'd like to speak something kind to yourself, an intention, a phrase, a mantra, a sacred prayer that speaks to you. Receive that into your practices evening. And allow that intention, that affirmation to wrap around the peace that moves and resides within you as we invite your breath to wrap around your intention. And finally, Allow your body to wrap around your breath. Allow me, yogis, to remind you that you are truly already whole and in quotation marks perfect. We come to the mat in whatever practice we explore, to be restored, to release no longer serves us, and to cultivate all the goodness that is. Gently gather your hands towards your heart center. Find a beautiful inhale here. And as you exhale, either release your breath, or if you have an om in your practice, by all means release out into your om. A steady, relaxed breath is just all you need. And gratitude, yogis, for your presence, your practice, your movement, and above all, your peace. Namaste. Bow your forehead towards the tips and thumbs, but by all means lift those fingers right between the brows. Take a moment to allow your hands to soften up back towards your heart center, down towards your thighs and knees. I have long arms, so my arms always hang. Yours may not. Smiling is welcome in the practice. It's not necessary, but it sure may feel good. All right? So as we find an inhale here, shoulders stacked over your hips. On your exhale, gently turn, bringing your left hand towards your right thigh, right knee, and walk those right fingertips behind you. Notice I'm not telling you where to gaze. Let this feel safe and stable on your spine. And now gently come back to the center, stretching across your right arm over your left. Bend into the elbows and bow down. Soften as you press those hands perhaps into the thighs. And then gently rise back up. This time keeping your right hand on your left thigh. Walk those left fingertips behind you and gaze to the side if you want to. If your gaze is towards your left shoulder, go for it. But honor the body. Notice the twists in the thoracic spine. We honor the mobility of our lumbar spine. We also treat it kindly. And now slowly come back to the center. This time crossing your left arm over your right. Find a gentle bend into the knees and bow down. Crown of the head is moving down to the earth. And now rise back up. Let's open our arms out into a T. Let this be like an inhale. And as you exhale, allow the right hand to land down. Sweep your left arm over your ear. We're going to flow this out, yogis. If we reach your arms back out into a T, and exhale as you lower the left hand down and stretch your right arm over your ear. Now as we inhale, reaching our arms back out into a T, allow the exhale to slowly draw your arms forward, kind of like a little hinge. And so we're going to hinge forward. We're going to make our way to all fours. So the destination is the same, the journey is different. Maybe you rise up on all fours like so. Maybe you ease over to your favorite hip and then slide a blanket underneath your kneecaps. Let's bring our wrists underneath our shoulders, our knees in line with our hips. If this is not a good day to do this, I'm going to trust that you are going to take care of your bodies because you know your edges. You know what feels better for you than I do. So honor your body. So with our fingers spread, let's take a moment to curl the toes under and lift from the heart center so we don't jet the chin up. And now round the spine, gazing down maybe toward that space between your arms, between your fingers and thumbs. And then gently lift and gaze, lifting from the heart center. Zip the belly in, and now round the spine, gaze down. Let's go ahead and lift and rise. And this time, as we round the spine and gaze down, gently return back to all fours. Become a table. It's funny how in yoga we are inanimate objects, we're also sages, wise people, and then we're like animals, right? Take that. So with your wrists underneath your shoulders again, let's take a moment to extend our right leg behind us. Press actively into the ball of that right foot and just kind of rock forward and back on that right leg, right foot, taking care of your foot, and then just pause for a second. I'm going to turn to the front of the mat so you can see me. We're going to gently stretch that right leg over toward the left side of our body and peek over your left shoulder. So I think it may look like I'm on my right side if you're looking at the camera here. So as you look over your shoulder, slowly slide your right leg back behind you, and now stretch your right leg out to the side. And so as we bring that right foot to the outside of our mat, walk those wrists underneath your shoulders and take a moment to lift your right hand up to the sky. You can always visualize this, ladies and gentlemen, yogis, and find a little circle of that right arm in one direction and then in the other direction. And now slowly reach that arm up and exhale, thread. Bring your right arm through behind your left arm and sweep your right hand back up. Exhale, thread. Sweep your right hand up. Exhale, thread. Now as you sweep your right hand up, take a moment to pause here. See about peeking or peeling up to the tips of your left fingers. Maybe your fingers touch, maybe your left hand is off the earth, but we're gonna rise up into a T. Stretch your palms facing out and slide your right hand down that right leg as the left arm extends over your ear. And now inhale as you reach your arms back out into a T. As you exhale, bring your left hand down to the earth. It's not your imagination, you're to the side of your mat. Left hand is down, and see about lifting your right leg up. So find a little flex in your right toes. I always imagine like that I'm doing something fancy, like wiping my wall with my foot. So just find a couple of circles here in one direction. And then move those circles in the other direction, yogis. And now we're going to slowly turn to the front of our mat. Keep that right leg lifted up. And now exhale, round the spine, draw your knee into your nose. Inhale, stretch your right leg back behind you. Exhale, round the spine, draw the knee up towards your nose. So as you inhale, you don't have to lift it too high. You can keep your spine nice and long. Exhale, round. Let's do it one more time as you extend that right leg behind you. Exhale, draw that knee up towards your nose. Perhaps you put that right arm underneath the right thigh to come into a lunge. So take care of your bodies as you explore the lunge if it's appropriate for you. But as we slowly begin to rise, pressing actively into that right foot, sweep your arms up over your head. And now gently twist over to the right. Maybe you gaze back at that right thumb. If it's a part of your journey today, slide your right hand back towards your left thigh, or maybe even peel it into that left hip pocket. The gaze is your own, up or back. And now inhale back into this T. And as you exhale, reach both hands down to the earth. Go ahead and curl your left toes under. Lift your left knee off the mat. Step it back into plank. Indulge me, if you will, yogis, as you bring the knees down to the earth, but keep that belly engaged. And now the elbows point alongside your body. Come into this variation of chapter. Run back, rising up into a plank. And exhale back, child's pose. In this child's pose, you might even lift your fingertips up. You might even find some circles off of the mat. Lift your wrists in one direction and then the other. And now slowly rise back up to all fours. Take a moment to pause. We're going to stretch that left leg behind us. And just kind of feel how this is, like you're doing a little gas pedaling, pressing into the ball of that left foot. Try to resist that temptation of collapsing here. You want to keep that back nice and happy. And now slowly stretch your left leg over towards the right side of the body. So your shoulders are facing the front of the mat. As you peek over that right shoulder, that feels okay. And then gently extend that left leg all the way out to the side. We're going to pause here. Walk those wrists underneath your shoulders. Pause. Before extending that left arm up toward the sky. Gaze up to that left hand. Maybe you want to find some circles in one direction and then the other. By all means, slide a block underneath your right foot, your right hand to bring the earth a little closer. And as you pause here, exhale and twist the left arm underneath right. Gently sweep your left arm up. Gaze can follow that hand. And exhale as you twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Let's inhale, reach. And then pause for a second. Slowly ease up to the tips of the right fingers. And let's rise up from here. Out of our time, opening our arms out into a T. Find a couple of circles of the wrists in one direction. And circle the wrists in the other direction. Before sliding your left hand down towards your left leg. As your left hand comes down towards your left leg, your right arm extends up and over the ear. This is a little sway of a variation of Parigasana gate pose. Let's inhale our arms out into a T and exhale that right hand down to the earth. Left hand lifts up and see if you can lift that left leg off the earth. Find a safe and gentle flex of that left foot. If that's too intense for you, soften into that knee, yogis, and just find some gentle circles. Soften into the toes. When you're ready, reverse the direction of the circles. And now slowly we're going to turn back to the front of our mat. So your left leg doesn't have to lift too high. In fact, keep it around that hip position. And now round the spine as you draw the knee up towards your nose. Think about like a cat back. Extend that left leg behind you. Lengthen that spine. Round the spine. Draw the knee up towards the nose. The belly, yogically speaking. Extend your left leg behind you. Let's do this 2 more times. Draw that knee up towards your nose. Extend that left leg behind you. 1 more time, yogis. And now put your left foot between your hands. Okay? Take a moment to pause here. And just notice how you're feeling on this side of the body. It might be completely different. As we sweep both arms up and over our head, imagine that you're hugging that left heel back towards that right knee. As weird as that sounds, let's gently twist over to the left side of the body. Now stretch your left hand back towards your left thigh. Sweep your right arm up and over your ear. And now inhale back into this T. As you exhale, bring both hands down to the mat. Curl your right toes under, stretch your right leg, knee off the mat, stepping back into plank. This time lower down into your expression of chaturanga. Rise and lift into upper facing dog or cobra, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. Two. Maybe your gaze, that's your drishti, is towards your navel, maybe it's towards the center of the mat, maybe it's between your legs, or maybe you're in a gentle and beautiful child's pose or all fours. Join me when you're ready as you lift from the heart center and step your right foot up to the top of the mat. Step your left foot up to the top of the mat and inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward. Again, inhale, slide your hands halfway up toward your knees or thighs. Exhale, forward. Now this time as we lift up, yogis, imagine if you lift those heels up just enough for me to slide a couple of sheets of construction paper underneath those heels. Sweep your arms out into a T and continue to rise all the way back up. Root your hips down and exhale your hands towards your heart center. And release your hands down to the side. Side step. Inhale, reach and lift your arms up over you. Exhale, forward. Uttanasana. Let's inhale, rising up into Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, bend your knees. Step your left leg far behind you in a lunge. Now, imagine hugging your hip bones together. Build this up. Right hand towards that right thigh, left hand up towards that right thigh, and sweep your arms up over your head. Find a gentle twist over to the right side of the body. Doesn't have to be too low. If you want to stretch your right hand towards your left thigh, go for it. And then inhale back into this T. Exhale, both hands down to the earth. Step your left foot up to join right. Inhale, rise and lengthen forward. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, forward. Back down. It's Uttanasana. Gently pressing actively into the balls of the feet. Feel light on your heels as you sweep your arms out into a T. Rise and extend your arms up over your head. And exhale, hands toward your heart center. Samasthiti. Inhale, reach and lift your arms up over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, bend your knees. Stretch your right leg far behind you in a lunge. Hugging those hip points together. Rise up. Left hand towards that left thigh. Right hand up towards that left thigh. And then sweep those arms up over your head again. Soften into the shoulders as you twist over to the left side. Feel free if you want to reach that left hand back towards that left thigh. Stretch your right arm up and over your ear. Gently inhale back into your T. This time, we're coming down to Chaturanga Dandasana. That familiar yoga push-up. Keep your heart lifted up as you rise into upward facing dog. And now exhale back into child's pose. In this child's pose, yogis, I invite you to explore perhaps gripping the outer edges of your mat, just getting a nice little tug as you draw those hips back towards the heels. They never need to touch. And once you've gotten a little stretch of your wrists, of your arms, maybe you make a pillow with your hands. Perhaps you rest your hands along the side of the body. But this is our moment of cool down, of pausing, of releasing, as we listen to our first aria. One of my favorite, summertime. From our child's pose yogis, I'm going to invite you to gently walk your fingertips forward and now slowly rise up, bring your hands along the side of your body. We're going to come to standing on our knees and shins. Again, I'm trusting that you're taking care of yourself. If it's not a good day to be on your knees. We're moving into Ardha Uttanasana movements. So as we slowly reach our arms up over our head, this is going to sound familiar, right? Let's open our chest just a little bit. Maybe you come into cactus arms. Notice I said open the chest and I'm going to lower them. And now gently reach those arms up. Let's find that familiar twist. Bring your right hand towards your right thigh. Maybe you hook that right hand into your left hip pocket. The gaze is down towards your foot. Maybe it's up. You can have a front of the feet flat on the back, and many of us are going to curve our toes under. And now slowly come back into this T. Exhale, draw your hands towards your heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. And now exhale, come into a little cactus back, lifting from the heart, from the center of the chest to your T. Take care of your lower back. And now gently extend those arms up. Palms can be parallel, or fingertips can be reaching up to the center this way. And now exhale, twist over to the left side. So with your hips over your knees, gently draw your left hand back towards the left thigh. Maybe you scoot that right arm over your ear. Find the variation that feels appropriate and that's safe for you to practice this evening. And now slowly bring your arms back out into a T and exhale, hands towards your heart. And our arm openings are invigorating. So as we come into our full Ustrasana, maybe for just a moment, you bring your hands towards your blocks, holding on to the blocks. Maybe bring your hands towards your hips. If you have that Ustrasana practice in your journey, in your wheelhouse this evening, keeping those hips over your knees, gently lift from the heart center without relaxing that neck. Find some steady breaths here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently bow down, releasing this out, and just kind of rocking from side to side in your child's pose. Coming to all fours, your knees. Let's find a little curling of toes, lifting our heart up, and now exhale back into downward facing dog. Take a moment to lift your right leg up. It doesn't have to be too high. And as you draw that right leg up towards your nose, place your right foot between your hands. Make sure you have your blocks nearby if you do so. Let's find that familiar twist as we lift our arms up over our head again. And now find that twist over to the right. Remove the spine extension. So inhale your arms back up into this high crescent lunge on Vinyasana. And now open out into Warrior 2. And so in our Warrior 2, just do a check. Make sure your right knee is pointing towards the middle of that foot. And this is safe here. You can always make it smaller. In fact, visualize that those hip points are coming together. As we inhale the right leg straight, extend those arms, extend those palms up if you want to, and exhale, bend back into Warrior 2, gaze over your right middle finger. Inhale, extend and reach your arms up. Exhale back into Warrior 2. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Warrior 2. Let's find one more inhalation release. As we exhale back into Warrior 2, exhale, slide the left hand down the left leg, sweep that right arm up and over your ear, and now gently return back into Warrior 2, gaze over that right middle finger. Stretch your right leg straight, pause. Feel the groundedness of both feet. Stretching your right arm forward, and allow the right hand to land down to the inside of the leg or the outside for Trikonasana. As you come into your triangle pose, if you are a toe grabber, go for grabbing that toe, but keep the spine long. This is a lateral asana meant to lengthen, not to collapse. And so as you find a few more breaths here, by all means using your beautiful chair, your block to bring the earth a little closer to you, yogis. Gently rise back up into your Warrior 2, and then release both hands down to the mat. Option to move your vinyasa or to skip that, pausing as you see fit. Let's meet back into downward facing dog. Now from this downward facing dog, gently lift your left leg up behind you. Again, it doesn't have to be too high. You can even visualize that lift as you step your left foot between your hands once more. Right leg's gonna lift in a lunge. Slide those shoulders away from the ears as you rise back up. Reaching those arms up over your head. Find that familiar twist, stretching over to the left side. If you want to slide, reach your left hand back, go forward. Otherwise, join me when you're ready, sweeping those arms back over your head, lifting them up, lifting from the heart center. And now as you exhale, begin to open out into Warrior 2. So just take a moment, make sure that that left knee is following like the middle of the foot. Sometimes we say the pinky toe. If that resonates with you, so be it. But we're still hugging toward our midline, our center here, yogis. Activate that right foot. You need a little bit more. Stretch that right leg further behind you. And now as you extend that left leg straight, reach those arms up over your head, soften into the shoulders. Before exhaling back into Warrior 2 and gazing over your left middle finger. Inhale, extend that left leg straight, reaching your arms up. Gaze up if you want to. Exhale back into Warrior 2. Nice summertime in my head right now. Inhaling as you extend that left leg straight. Relax your shoulders, yogis. Exhale back into Warrior 2. Gaze over that left middle finger. Last time, as we sweep and lift the arms up. Exhale back into this Warrior 2. Pause. Soften into those shoulders. Stretch your right hand back towards that right leg. Catch it right if you want to. Extend that left arm over your ear. Try not to turn this into a back that is not necessarily safe for your body. And now gently come through your Warrior 2. Let's see about extending that left leg straight as we stretch that left arm forward and make our way into our triangle pose. Again, maybe your left hand is to the inside of your left leg. Maybe your left hand comes down to the floor. Catching your big toe, reach your hand behind you, grab an avoidable block to bring the earth a little closer. Whatever your variation is, pause here. Soften into that left knee to ensure that it doesn't lock. Engage that quad muscle. Protect that knee as you find this pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now gently rise back up into this warrior 2, and let's make our way down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And now exhale back, downward facing dog. Take a moment for you before shifting forward into the plank. Lowering those knees down to the earth and shifting back into downward facing dog. Or not downward facing dog, child's pose. Since I chose downward facing dog, I'm going to go with the downward facing dog with you. And now surrender those knees down. And we're in our child's pose for just a moment before rising back up to all fours. Let's return to that familiar stretch of the right leg behind us. And this time we're going to slide that right leg out to the side and see if you can bring that right foot forward to the front of your mat. So it's like a circle all the way around with the right toes pointing up. And let me tell you, there's a different way to do this. You can always hook the right arm underneath the right leg, step forward, and then extend your right leg straight. We're all exploring this Ardha Hanumanasana. Very gentle, very kind. Relax the shoulders. Just pause and be with this stretch. For maximum intensity, if that's what your journey is today, you have the toes lifted up. But no matter what, you're going to feel this. So soften where you need to in any part of your body, even as you lengthen that spine. Keeping your hands toward the inside of that right leg, framing that right foot, or even walking your hands over towards the right side of the body with palms. Before turning those right toes out. They never have to touch the floor. Relax both shoulders. And then gently turning back to the center. Walking both hands toward the front of your mat, inside of your leg, or framing that right foot, right leg, and slide that right knee back. Let's move to the other side, please. We're going to stretch your left leg behind you. Slide that left leg all the way over to the front of the mat or find that journey that feels appropriate for you. We're entering into this Ardha Hanumanasana, like a half split, right? So as your left leg stretches forward, pause. Feel free to walk and reach your hands. If it asks too much for you to be like still here, instead kind of bend into the knees and just kind of play with that if that feels better. Forgive me for not giving you that offering before. I was supposed to. Once you've done that kind of just moving in and out of straight leg and a bent knee, see if you can pause for just another moment. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. So, by all means, slide your hands onto your blocks. Careful not to put any pressure onto that knee, so we don't have to put our hands on our knees. And staying as you are, yogis, we're gently walking your hands over to the outside of that left leg and pause. If you need a little bit more, begin to explore turning your left toes, like left pinky toe, towards the outer edge of your mat. See what feels appropriate for you. And then slowly walk your hands back into that position that feels appropriate again. Press both palms down. Stretch and lift your right knee off the earth, stepping back into your lengthened palms. Hug with the upper part of the back. And then lengthen forward into your plank. Lower the knees down. Draw chin, chest, and hips to the floor and rise up into a little cobra. Gazing over the right shoulder. Coming back to the center and gazing over the left shoulder. And then slowly bringing both forearms down, we're going to make our way into our Sphinx pose. And so for some of us, we're going to keep those shoulders on top of our elbows. For others, you may feel it's safer to bring your arms, your elbows slightly forward. we'll spend time in this space, which is good for spinal extension, as we hear our next lovely and beautiful aria from the great Britain. Enjoy. I'll see you soon. Favorite, absolute favorite arms. So take a moment from the space for those yogis, and then gently make a pillow with your arms and rest your head. And so as we explore space, it's like I said, for your spinal extension. It's also part more than yin practice. So pausing here for just a moment. Being with this. And now from here, walk your hands along the side of your body. So your fingertips are pressing toward the front of your mat. Your shoulders are away from the ears. So I'm kind of lifting up to look at you. Really, I want to stay gazing ahead, keeping my spine long. And so we're going to lift our legs up. Maybe lift your arms up, or visualize that action, and exhale, make a pillow with your arms, resting your head on the back of your hands. Again, we're doing this 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. This next time, lifting your hands along the side of your body, drawing your chest up. Gently shifting back through child's pose if you'd like to, before curling and lifting up to downward facing dog. So you know some of us do downward facing dog with our arms like in an upside down V. Maybe if your shoulders allow, you go a little lower, but I just want you to be careful with your bodies. Again, do the expression that feels appropriate for you. Wherever you are, yogis, we're going to lift that right leg up again behind us, as well as our last pad. As we step it right between our hands, left is going to stay lifted in the lunge. Now take a moment from here. Reach your arms out like you're spreading your wings, and take a moment to reach your hands behind you. Maybe you interlace those fingers if that feels okay, or keeping those arms parallel to one another. Rise up. Slide and lift those hands back towards your leg or off of your thighs. Open up that chest. And now as we begin to hinge forward, press into that right foot. And see about lifting your left leg into a gentle warrior foot. Slowly bend back into your right knee. Launch and land back down. Surrender both hands down to the earth. Slide your left leg back. Surrender that left knee down. And let's walk both hands to the inside of our right foot. As we come into this variation of dragon pose, you might even turn your right toes out. Only if that is appropriate for you. Perhaps you come down to your forearms and even open up your right foot like a book. Only if that speaks to you. What's beautiful about even turning your right toes out is that you get that good stretch, and a safe stretch at that. And now slowly begin to walk your hands back to the center. Let's gently make our way into a gentle expression of pigeon. Now, if you prefer to pigeon on your back, then do so. But take a moment here to walk those hands out to the side. Maybe sway from side to side, just to lengthen that spine as far as you can forward and resting. Arms out, arms underneath your head, and pillow down. Pull your forearms down. Wherever you are, you won't be here for too long. Gently begin to extend your left leg behind you. Lift your totally curl your toes on as you rise back up. And slowly walk your hands, if you need to the inside of that right foot. Or extending back into a three-legged plank or three-legged dog, and release your right foot back. Take a moment just to shake this off, pedaling into the knees. Keeping that spine long, and then slowly lift your left leg up behind you. And as you exhale, a little rounding of the spine if you like to, as you draw your left foot forward, right wrist and up to the lunge. And now let's sweep those arms out to the side. Rise and come up. This time, stretch your palms forward first, then slide those hands behind you. Maybe you interlace your fingers once more, sliding the fists down the back of that right thigh. That's an option. But as you do, the hip points are coming together so you don't collapse here. You feel that strength in your flexors. And now from here, hinging forward yogis, gazing ahead, play with this idea of lifting your right leg off the earth. You never have to have that right leg lifted up too high. Maybe you visualize that action. Slowly move back into your left knee, lunge. Release any bind that you have of your hands. And rest your hands down to the floor, down towards your block. Down to your chair, slide your right leg back just to create a little more space and extension in that leg. And now surrender your right leg down to the earth. Soften into the front of that right foot. As you explore your dragon on this side of your body. Maybe it's with your hands straight, arms straight, and your left toes pointing to the front of the mat. Maybe you turn your left toes over to the left corner. You might even explore coming down to one forearm and then the other. Maybe opening up your foot like a book. We don't always say this, but if you have a split practice, that's also a part of doing the dragon if you'd like to. So just see what feels good for you here. And then slowly rising back up. Walk those left toes toward the center of your mat. Draw your left heel in as closely as you need to, or keep your left shin parallel to the floor. You want to keep those hips in the same direction. So slide a blanket underneath that right knee or that left knee as you see fit. And then begin to come forward, keeping the spine as long as possible. And resting, kind of like when we were in our Sphinx pose. So maybe you stay up with your forearms, or once more you make a pillow with your arms and rest. See what feels appropriate for you this evening. And then slowly rising back up. Take a moment to pause here. We're going to curl the right toes under. And sweep and stretch your left leg up behind you. Exhale the left foot down to the earth. And now slowly shift forward into that familiar. I did that kind of quick, right? So you take your time. Lower those knees down to the earth. Yoga teachers, I tell you, shift back into a wide leg child's pose for a second. Knees out to the side. Maybe your bum can move toward your heels. This is a really sweet space to even slide a block or a cushion or a pillow underneath your belly. You need a little more opening in your shoulders. You can even bring like your blocks or your books underneath your shoulders and kind of rest like so. As long as this feels safe for your neck, feel free to roll a towel or washcloth underneath that forehead just to keep that neck feeling safe, or even underneath the chin. And then sliding those hands back towards the front if you have them extended out. Let's rise back up, yogis. Shift over to your favorite hip. It doesn't matter which one. You're going to swing those legs out. Just kind of find a little stretch in the legs. Maybe lift and bend the knees. Now take a moment. Let's flow this out, sliding that left hand down that left leg. And sweeping your right arm over your ear. It might be nice to get your right hand toward your left ear, or even to bring your right hand toward the back of your skull. If it feels better for you to reach and bring your right hand toward that foot, and you can keep the spine safe, go there. See what feels appropriate for your practice. See. Now gently begin to turn whichever variation that you've chosen this evening. Slowly turn towards that left leg and fold over the leg. So this is important. Maybe your chest comes to that left leg. Maybe it's better for you to keep your arms inside that left leg, rooting the back of the calves and the back of the thighs onto the mat. Feel free to lift those kneecaps off. And slowly walk your hands crossing, just like we did at the beginning of our practice, all the way over to the right side of the body. And take a moment here. Maybe this is your favorite side, and your right hand is to the outside of the leg, the inside of the leg. But let's see if we can reach this time with the left arm over our ear. Find this variation if it's appropriate for you. Catch a bind as you see fit, bringing your hand toward the back of your skull. The idea for this is we want to stay lengthened here. We don't want to collapse. We'll do that in a safe forward fold. So keep this safe, like a nice lateral stretch here, inviting both hips to stay on the mat. By all means, slide a blanket underneath your bum if you feel like that lower back is going to get in trouble here. Wherever you are, slowly release that left arm and that right arm to the inside of that right leg. Press up to the tips of the fingers if that feels appropriate, and slowly walk those hands forward before rising all the way back up. And bring your hands to your hips. Take a moment to pause here. We're going to flow this out, and so it's just kind of like a rock from side to side. It's kind of a little movement from side to side. Now we're going to open those arms and stretch that right arm out to the side and stretch that left arm out to the side. Add any extra flair, flipping the palm up if you want to, and flip the other palm up if you want to. And as we stretch those arms out, let's explore where our twist takes us now. As we revisit what we did at the beginning of practice, maybe you find that your spine is happy and ready to turn a little bit more. Not necessary. Come on back up to the center, yogis. Open your arms out into a T. And now see if you can flow and bring your right hand over towards that left thigh. Left hand. And now slowly reach those arms up. Exhale, twist again to the right. Reach those arms up. Exhale, twist over to the left. Reach your arms back up. And as you exhale, begin to reach forward, allowing those arms to hang down to the floor. With the forearms on the mat, I'm going to give you different options. We're coming into this, and we're going to be listening to our next audio. You might want to have a bolster, a cushion to support you as you rest your chest forward. But if this is not an appropriate asana for you to do sitting forward, you can also do this on your back. Okay? And so if you have a wall nearby, you're going to bring your back onto the mat and stretch your legs up against your wall. Maybe your arms reach out to the side. Maybe you reach your arms over your head. But find that resting place in this wide leg forward fold as we hear our final and beautiful Olha, a vida. Song to me. Take it away, Mac. Once more, such a very lovely aria. How soothing. So yogis, if you are up against the wall, your legs are extended, by all means remain just as you are. Perhaps you will explore sliding those legs together and having them extended up against the wall. For those of us who are sitting upright in this dragonfly or Upavishtakanasana, this wide legged pose, let's rise back up. Your body will be happy. Bring that bolster or cushion or any blocks that you have beneath you out to your side and slide those feet into a standing position and try to get out of the sun. Just find a little windshield wipe of the legs from side to side. We're going to make our way onto our backs, yogis. And so once again, as you settle onto your backs, you might start off with your feet firmly on the mat and those knees pointing up toward the sky. Perhaps you'd like to rest your hands on your navel. Maybe rest your hands along the side of the body. And take a moment from here just to observe, to visualize your own imprint into the mat, which we'll refer to as artwork. And gathering that awareness, gently lift your right knee up towards your chest. Feel free to wrap your right arm around and left hand around the shin and find a gentle circle of that knee and hip system in one direction, and then gently move in the other direction. And extending that left leg down to the mat. See if you can find a little twist as you roll over onto your left hip and stretch your right leg, right knee out to the left side of the body. The gaze is your own, but keep your shoulders on the mat. Perhaps resting and turning your right palm up to the sky. Slowly begin to peel back onto your back. So kind of like ease out of this twist. And then slide your left foot into standing position and rest that right foot down along the side of it. Pause. Let's draw that left knee in towards our chest. We'll do the same thing. Find a gentle hug in that left knee, that whole hip system as we circle in one direction. And then find a gentle circle in the other direction. Now take a moment to ease that right leg a little straighter. Perhaps you're using some support underneath that right leg. And let's twist over to the right side, rolling over to the outer side, the outer edge of that right leg, that right hip. And find a gentle twist. Let this feel soothing. Extending that left arm out to the side. Again, your gaze is your own. Maybe you're looking over your left shoulder. Maybe you're keeping your neck in a neutral position and resting your gaze inward. Stay and linger wherever it feels good to linger, yogis. My voice and my guidance is merely your offering and an offering for you as you roll onto your back. Sliding both knees in towards your chest again. Let's find a circle of both hips and knees in one direction, and then gently move in the other direction. And then either extend your legs up against the wall once more, pressing your feet down onto the earth, or extending your legs straight onto the mat as you enter into your Shavasana. Allowing your Shavasana to be whatever you need it to be this evening. Or you can rest your breath. It's safe to surrender. To mount the body into the earth. Maybe you recall your intention and allow it to take you towards your still point, that beautiful light within you. Stay and remain here. Rest and surrender. Finding a quiet moment of stillness and silence in your body as you rest between each breath, as you pause between each thought. If your mind begins to wander, return to that familiarity of your own intention. It's okay. Settle in. And yogis, because you are practicing within the sanctuary of your own homes, your own sacred spaces, you may choose to remain in Shavasana for much longer, staying just as you need to be, remaining still, settling easily into this place of quiet. Once more, I'm going to give an offering. And if your mind and body and breath are ready to move as one once more, that you slowly begin the journey of ease and guide into an awareness of one finger and a toe, and then another finger and toe. Maybe you find yourself turning your neck towards one ear and then the other. Perhaps you find a gentle circling of your wrists and your hands. And staying as you are sliding those feet into a standing position. Once more, take a moment to pause. Allow the body an opportunity to record this moment of stillness. And then if you're ready, gently ease over to the side of the mat, calling you. Pausing there. Remain on your back or remain on your side. Or if you are ready to rise up again, extend that top leg forward and gently make your way up to a comfortable cross-leg position, extended leg position, or seal the practice as you need to. Having moved gently and flowed lovingly, let's once more rest our hands around our thighs, our knees, our laps. We're drawing our hands back toward our heart center. Inhaling deeply. Wherever you are, exhaling out your breath lovingly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, yogis, for joining me. I'm going to turn over the mic back to Ricky. Remember that you're worthy of all the goodness you've cultivated in your practice. Carry it with you into your evening, into your tomorrow, and your always. Namaste. Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you, Nikki. And thank you all for coming. We have a link in the chat to give us suggested $5 donations, if you so choose, to help us cover the cost for opera yoga and other center stage programming. So again, thank you, Nikki. Special thanks to our artists, Brittany and Elena, for sharing your talents with us. And thank you to Matt Iona, Susan Nagy, and Finley Yoga for being such wonderful partners. Thank you all and have a great evening.